I worked as a teacher at a shady company. Welcome to my story time. Today I'm gonna tell you guys about the time that I worked as a music teacher at a company that straight up didn't pay anyone. Give me my money. Give me my fucking money. I will flame it. I still haven't been paid. I started working there at around August last year. August 2025. The place was a music school that kids go to after school to learn instruments, and I was hired as a guitar teacher. I initially applied to that place earlier that year, and then I had an interview and they didn't say anything after the interview for almost half a year, so I'd kind of assumed that I didn't get the job. But then out of nowhere they randomly hit me up being like, oh, we're happy to have you, come along. And I'm like, why not? And it was casual. It was a contractor job, so I wasn't technically an employee. I'll dive into that a bit later. So the initial interview with the sort of area manager, he didn't give off the most sort of like professional vibe. The way he spoke in my interview gave off like someone that's overcompensating. Speaking to him was like literally reading like a Google Docs. It's like he copy and pasted a Google Docs and it just came out of his mouth. And it was a bit eerie at first. It just seemed really intense. Like I'd look it in the eye and he's just like not blinking, looking at me like this, staring into my soul, saying all that information about the company and the contract. So yeah, that's kind of my first impression I had. Didn't think it was like perfect or anything, but as long as I can just start casually teaching, I really didn't mind. I just wanted to get into that job, just wanted to start teaching kids. And then shit went down. And then they started to not pay us. Literally the first day, I had to kind of like wing it. The guy was there to sort of assist me, but he kind of sat with me in my first lesson with my first student, and no teaching experience, by the way. Also, I've never had a guitar teacher before, so I was very awkward. I watched him teach my first student for the first like 10-15 minutes to kind of get a grasp of what to do. And then I was just left in the room by myself. And from then, I improvised and learned how to teach. I mean, it wasn't like the hardest thing ever, but the way they kind of threw me in there was a bit rash. So I think probably my second day, like between lessons, I was talking to some of the teachers. One of the guys that worked there for a while brought up that people weren't being paid on time. People were getting their payment like weeks later than when they were meant to have it. And I was like, okay, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's better than never. Little did I know what was gonna happen. And yeah, that happened to me. So because I heard that rumor, I wasn't too surprised. Around October, everyone had delayed payments. It was like normal for everyone to not have their pay for like weeks. They were finally shown on the news for this. Some workers from the other branches broke silence, and apparently they'd had not been paid like thousands of dollars worth of pay, and when they tried to leave, they would get charged for like a damage fee. Like it'd be said that they're causing damage to the company, so they'd have to pay like $900 on top of not being already paid. I'm sure there were a lot of circumstances that were involved, but that didn't take away from the fact that the company wasn't paying their workers straight up. And so that turned into a big thing. All the workers are kind of concerned. All the higher ups were panicking. The area manager person decided to come in for like a one-on-one meeting with everyone to like check up on how we're doing. But there is nothing to talk about but yes, I'm not being paid. Why should I work here? I am concerned working here. There's not like that. That's literally everyone's answer. Yes, I know that may be a topic at hand, and I am very sorry for what is happening to you. You just caught us at a bad timing. No, like that. Yeah, so you kind of rambled on for like an hour. Like, I didn't want to be on anyone's bad side because you didn't know what was going to happen, because you couldn't trust any of these admin business people. The area manager was meant to be sort of mediator between admin and like the teachers. That's why he's doing the meeting. But if I happen to say something wrong or be on his bad side and not get paid or get even charged more, like I was scared of that, because that's what was happening on the news. I didn't know what would happen, so I was very, very cautious of what I had to say. But I had to say what I had to say in the meeting. I had to kind of acknowledge the situation. He would start asking about what my future plans are. I don't know, like one thing turned to another. I was finding ways to acknowledge the situation and sort of not get on his bad side. And then he started like glazing me. Can't remember the whole conversation, but at one point he started like throwing positive like traits to describe me. Like he gave an example, and then he started saying, oh, Hugo is a very calm teacher, very gentle teacher, very thought out and very nice and considerate person. That's what he said. I'm so sorry, I can't give the context of why he said that. But he started bringing that up. Workplace, I'm tense, talking one-on-one with this. It was just, the whole thing was getting really weird. And then the conversation went back into the whole situation that was acknowledged on the news. That he literally straight up said to me, like that there's a problem that the admins have to solve on their own because they spent the money on hookers and cocaine. Like he literally said that to me. The whole point of the 1 hour conversation was for us to reach like an even understanding of the situation, and it was like meant to be a checkup. And at the very end of all of that 1 hour of yapping, he hit from his mouth, the admins spent all the money on cocaine and hookers. The fuck? This guy is fucking losing it. I'm making this guy panic. I'm making this guy spill the beans. So awkward after that. Right after he said that, he's like, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, that's the thing, I'm too honest. Like before he was appealing how he had a very honest approach, which total bullshit. He was appealing how like parents and teachers trust him because he has a very honest approach. And then he said that, and then right after saying that, he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm just too honest. Like, that's the thing. I can't help it. And I'm just like, I had no idea what to say. I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Yeah. What the fuck? All his efforts to kind of gain my trust down the drain hole like that. He did it to himself too. I obviously had to leave, right? But I wanted to do it in a sort of smart way, just because things are very uncertain. I mean, in the moment especially, like we just didn't know what was going to happen, and we still had a lot of money due. A whole school term's worth of pay would stack up for everybody. After October, they just started to lose contact. I'd been ghosted for the whole term. But then that person would individually text me about closing the store because there's no one else to do it. Literally, this person from admin has been ignoring my emails about not being paid. And then she has the audacity to text me and get me to close the store, even though it's not my job. Okay, yeah, I closed the store. Now can you respond to my emails? How's my payments going? And then ghosted. We had no receptionist. Apparently they had refunds for the parents that they were meant to give, and they weren't doing it, and parents have to reschedule their kids' lessons for whatever reasons. And they weren't even able to do that because they had no receptionist. So the whole place just looked like hell. The whole place is messy. You had the bin overflowing, and you got like anxious, angry parents just waiting in the lobby. And then you have me and other couple of teachers just there to teach the remaining lessons that we have. So it finally reached like to a point where they couldn't handle all the emails. Like there was just too many emails of the teachers complaining about their pay. So after not giving any clarification for the whole term, they sent like a newsletter to everyone, which was like a school newsletter with like a GIF at the top, like a graphic sort of like logo at the top. That was their response. That was their collective, thought out response to the whole situation after months of ghosting. In this period where everybody is unhappy, unpaid, uncertain, there's so much tension, the atmosphere is hell. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding? Are you messing around? Are you messing with us? Like, what is this goofy ass shit? And then 2 hours after that, 10 p.m, they sent a separate email saying that they were bought out by another company. And that company was a place I had been interviewed before. So at this moment, I'm meant to transfer there. And they seem to have the minimum needs of a business. So I'm trying that place out. I think I am. I still haven't gotten any update on it. And I still haven't been paid. I still worked in retail the whole time. I didn't quit my other job because I was planning to gradually transition into it, but I'm glad I didn't because otherwise I would have been broke. But yeah, since I still worked in my retail job, I only worked there once a week. So I'm on the luckier side. I'm one of the luckier teachers. My loss isn't as big, but I still put in weekly work. And I taught like 8 students a day at some point. So yeah, that all happened within the last few months of 2025. It was a chaotic period, and it was one of the worst periods of my life. But I'm alive now. I made it out. I'm happy. What the hell? But yeah, moral of the story, I don't know. I was just very unlucky. So if you're gonna work under a contract, don't just be wary, but also check the contract details. Read the contract very thoroughly. Keep a copy of it and get help from others if there is any concern around it. Yeah, be careful with those sort of places. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.